Um, oh, okay. All righty.
Let's start over.
So the program is going to have two contracts, including the mill overlay contract and the ultra thin bonding wearing course project. That would involve resurfacing roads with the traditional mill overlay and then that ultra thin bonding. They're actually outlined with the roads specifically within the project memo and the timeline as well. So the anticipation of the bids would go out in February and open for the 2024 and be held on March 27th. And then the consideration for the award would be at a future meeting in April. Are there any questions for the board? So this is strictly just for us to advertise. Any questions or comments from the public? Seeing none, I'd like to make a motion to authorize advertisement of the bids for our annual paving program. Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
You guys have to say it out loud. I can't hear you. Are you saying aye?
I'm saying
Aye.
I don't want to talk over. So
Okay. Motion carries. Thank you so much. Next up is our invoices. Has everyone had a chance to review the invoices? Okay, are there any questions or concerns from the invoices? Questions or concerns from the public? Seeing none, I'd like to make a motion to approve our invoices. Is there a second? Come on, Jimmy, you can do it.
second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. Thank you so much. Next up is the approval of our minutes from our January 23rd, 2024 meeting. Those are included in our board packet, the manager's report. Are there any questions or comments from the minutes? Seeing none, I'd like to make a motion to approve the minutes of the January 23rd, 2024 meeting. Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Here we go. Motion carries. Next up is the supervisor liaison reports. Those are included in our board packet. Are there any questions or concerns from the liaison report?
Just the HRC.
I know, I said report.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was just making sure I had it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Seeing none. Staff updates.
Real quick, somebody say something?
I thought-
I did. I just had a question about the earlier in the meeting, the Janssen resolution. Did you say there wasn't an actual approval resolution?
Resolution is included, but it is an amendment of the resolution that was 2020-19.
So are we keeping the we should probably change that number, I think, right? I mean, it's in the packet, it was like 2024, just didn't have the number next to it.
It can be 07. Like I said, that was not documented in there, so I just voted on amending it without a number attached.
Okay, so we can just assign whatever number's next.
That would probably make sense.
Okay, sounds good. Thanks.
No worries. Chief Kenny, it's all you.
Couple things. So the winter time is usually a good time for training for police officers because nobody takes vacations in January and February. So a couple quick updates. Sergeant William Henry is in Penn State, puts on POSIT. They've put on 3 different programs. Police supervisor in-service training is what Sergeant Henry is in this week and next week. It's out in Westchester. Sergeant Sean Sweeney is with Northwestern Staff and Command School, which is at the Philadelphia Police Academy. This is a 10-week school. It's 2 weeks on, 2 weeks off. They fly experts in from all over the country. And I'm going to go over some of the highlights there. And Sergeant Chris Westerman is with the FBI in their LEADA program, which is their Law Enforcement Executive Development. All 3 of these focus on leadership qualities and how to run police departments and the importance of policy, how policy deals with liability, and the importance of managing employees. These are all frontline supervisor positions leading to command and staff positions. So there's just phenomenal training that these three are receiving now. And we'll swap them around and try and get everybody to everything we can. But these are three main schools that are going on right now. They're incredibly hard. There is a lot of homework. There's a lot of studying, and there is test. So it's a privilege to go, but it's a lot of work on their end also. The entire department is scheduled for EVOC training. EVOC is Emergency Vehicle Operations and Control. I believe control is the last part. Sponsored by Divot. And one of the things, obviously, we all do every day, drive a car. And, officer injuries through accidents lead everybody. So the importance of driving an emergency vehicle at speed and different things, can't get enough of that training. So the entire department is scheduled for that this year. And lastly, Danielle, I know there was something that we've been working on for over a year. The county has finally approved our department and the remaining 11 departments that have not been able to use the county prison for housing, and it's finally been approved. So we expect the warden to okay everything this week, and we'll get direction within a week or so. This has been an issue for smaller departments, for any department that hasn't been able to use the county prison for their facilities. As far as the arraignment process, processing prisoners, all these things were done through neighborhood cooperation with Whitpain, with Montgomery. We used to use Upper Dublin. To be able to finally have the county handle it for us is going to be a big step. So we expect that to happen shortly.
And it's not just us, all
They took all 11.
All 11. Wow.
Does that impact our taxes? I mean, how does that work? How do we pay for that?
It may affect the county tax. It's a county deputies, sheriff's department that run the prison and the warden. I don't think it will affect them, but somebody has to pay for it.
And it certainly has to be more cost effective to do that in a centralized
Right.
location for the county than for each municipality
Right.
to do it separately.
Right. We used to have to stop along the way with a prisoner to a neighboring department, which anytime you take somebody out of a car, into another facility, back into a car, to ultimately end up at the county prison where they could do it all at once up there. This has been a battle for
2 years.
2 years.
Mhm.
And the county is, I'm not blaming anybody. Everybody's having trouble with personnel, with the numbers. It was a numbers game of trying to get the people to be able to handle the rest of the departments that were not there. So that finally has happened. So we're thrilled about that. And that was my only last update.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Any additional staff updates?
Just one, the board authorized staff to finalize the agreement with Lee Barry, the realtor who's going to help us figure out how to market Ingersoll House. So we've worked out all the details. It was signed and executed today. So work will begin.
Awesome.
That's great.
No, Fred's on here. Does Fred have anything you want to share?
I wanted to give an update on the Ingersoll Park fencing project. Can you hear me?
Yeah. Is that Jim Hirsch?
Yeah, it is. Thank you for accommodating me on Zoom. All right, so the demolition is complete. The fence along Penland Pike has been installed. The layout for the rest of the fencing is also complete. We had a meeting about 2 weeks ago with the Little League, Public Works. We all okayed the layout. They've put in the foundations for the larger 25-foot backstop and netting poles. And I spoke with the contractor, and we are on schedule for the mid-March completion, which is what we anticipated at the start of this. So all is progressing along out there.
Great, thanks, Jim.
Thanks, and thanks for doing the oversight and ensuring that it's moving smoothly. I guess the only question I have is, will the snow or the ground freezing cause any delay?
The ground freezing there won't be ground freezing, that won't be an issue. I'm sure the snow slowed them down, but it won't like prevent them from working, like tomorrow. They'll be okay to work.
Okay,
I saw them out there after the last snow.
okay, awesome. Any other staff updates? Have anything? Seeing none, supervisor comments. Tessie?
I'm going to defer to Jimmy since he felt like he didn't get to say much last time. Go ahead.
Thanks. No, just, I guess the Public Works did a great job today with all the snow. And I am still just amazed with how everyone works here. And I'm just very happy to be on the board.
Persky?
Always when the weather's bad, just a special thanks to the Public Works, police, and first responders. Great stuff.
I'd like to echo what everyone else said here. I'd like to make a motion to adjourn. Is there a second? Oh my gosh.
Second.
All those in favor?
All right.
There we go. Adjourned.
Guys,